my record button? Here we go. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Melissa Andre. I'm the Executive Director of the Tax Review Board. Today is Tuesday, February 28th of 2023, and we are convening a session of the Tax Review Board. With me today are Board Chair Nancy Cameron-Deter and Board members Paula Weiss, George Matthews, and Ryan Boyer. Please be aware that this is a public hearing and it is being recorded. Because the meeting is public, participants and viewers have no reasonable expectation of privacy. And by continuing to be in this meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. At this time, I'm going to give control of the board to our chair, Nancy Cameron-Deter, and everybody just hold tight until the questions are being directed to you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. The first two items on our agenda are cases 3 and 4. Property address at 539 East Allegheny Avenue, last 4 digits of the docket 8536, and 537 East Allegheny Avenue, last 4 digits of the docket 8533. Our agenda identifies the participant as Mohammed Qadir, but we have a slightly different name on what's come up on the agenda. So, I mean, on the picture. So if you could identify yourself for the record, please.
They said, yeah, this is Mohammed Qadir, my name.
Oh, okay, because that's not what was on the written piece. It was a little bit different. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Who has this matter for the city?
Yim Bin
We'll be back in a
represents.
second. Who has this matter for the city?
Yim Bin represents the city of Philadelphia.
Okay, do you have anyone else who will be testifying with you?
Yes, Ms. Felder, Ms. Renee Felder.
Okay, please identify yourself for the record.
My name's Renee Felder. I'm from Revenue Intake.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board?
Yes, I do.
Okay, are you the one who will have the numbers for the record for us?
Yes, I will.
Okay, if you could take them one case at a time, and we'll get all the numbers on the record, and then we'll see whether we're doing each property separately.
Okay. Starting with 539 East Allegheny Avenue.
Okay,
Principal amount is $4,150. Penalty is $4,005.76. The interest would be $2,757.50, which bring this total balance to $10,913.26. The years that's included in this balance is 2010 through 2022.
through 2000 what?
22.
Okay, your voice went down just enough that I didn't hear the end of it. Okay, and if we could also get the numbers for case number 4.
537 East Allegheny Avenue. The principal amount is $4,150. Penalty, $3,823.49. The interest would be $2,649.50, which bring this total balance to $10,291.49. The years that is included, it's 2010 through 2022.
Okay. Does the city have any other opening comments before we turn to the petitioner?
From the city's understanding, petitioner today is only disputing the interest and penalty, and he's not disputing the merit of the refuse bills. So the city would like to remind the board that it is petitioners acting in good faith and without negligence with the city. And for the specifically for the property address at 537 East Allegheny Avenue, I think the 2019 refuse fee has already been paid, but not with the 539 East Allegheny Avenue. That's a difference between the two accounts.
Okay, fine. Thank you. We'll be back to you shortly. we'll turn now to the petitioner. Please tell us why you're here and what it is you're looking for from this board.
This,
And please try to speak into your mic so that we're sure we hear you.
Okay, actually, I'm sorry for too much behind. I didn't pay anything, as I'm just looking for for reduce like pay off. I mean interest, plenty, and I like to pay like original, like that's whatever is tax.
Can you explain to us how you got so far behind this? These bills go back to 2010.
And on one of them, 2007.
2007.
I thought it was 7 for
No,
third.
no, Nancy, they're both from 2010. Refugee
Oh,
Rights
that
Yeah,
was-
yeah.
I wrote
2010,
down the
yeah,
wrong
they
number
start
on my CAD.
2010.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, it start 2010.
Why is that? What happened in 2010?
That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, really, because because I have hardship going on all the time. So I, as I'm waiting, and as a bill come, like it's too high. So now I like to looking for, then I like to set up pay plan to make sure I can pay every month certain amount of money, every month.
Are these rental properties?
Yes.
And have they been rented all along?
Sometime, yeah, they pay sometime, because they don't pay. Because, all other property I have big messed up, like, since pandemic, and I like 3-4 houses, no, even one house I have like 4 years, nobody pay, and 2-3 years, nobody pay. This is the going on, and I'm fighting with, court, and that's really messed up. That's why I'm so far behind.
But sir, the pandemic was in 2020. You had this since 2010.
Yeah, but this is my fault. I didn't start, from
Okay.
this is.
Was there any thought about
I
selling
should
it
pay.
in
I should pay. I should pay. But some reason I didn't pay. I'm sorry for that. But now I'm just looking for, pay up. I mean, take up interest, plenty, or whatever, best, so that this I can start pay at least some amount of money every month.
And what are you able to pay every month?
I can pay, say, $500 every month, at least 2 properties,
Is that for each of the properties or for the 2 together?
2 together. Or if I have to pay a little more, I can able to pay. But
Are these
Yes,
properties rented now? Do you have tenants?
yes.
Does the tenant contribute to this payment?
No, because this is another problem. The tenant supposed to pay the bill, but tenant, the main guy, he died, and they says, no, I'm not gonna, because nothing is on the lease. So they says, no, I'm not gonna pay. So we have a new guy, whoever took over the things, and he refused to pay. They're
Can you
supposed to
please-
pay. They're
Yeah,
supposed
can you
to
please
pay
pay the
garbage tax.
2022 immediately? 2022 liability, can you pay it now, right now?
Yes, I can pay, yes.
Okay, then probably we'll look into all that. Okay.
We haven't heard from the city yet. Let's hear from them.
Yeah, Mr. Qadir.
Yes,
So I just want to first I want to confirm, like, you are the owner of 537 East Allegheny Avenue and 539 East Allegheny Avenue. Is that correct?
yes.
So your name is Muhammad Qadir, not Qadir
Qadir.
Muhammad. Qadir is your last name.
It's Qadir his last name, yeah. So.
Okay, thank you. So have you been receiving your so it sounds to me you've been receiving your monthly, not the bi-yearly refuse bills. Is that correct?
Yes, yes.
So have you ever applied any exemptions? Have you ever applied any exemptions?
No, because things is, I just mentioned before, they're supposed to pay. But when the guy died, after he's died, and he's, they refuse to pay anything. So that's why this is the reason I start to, I apply for city for, at least plenty interest, waive. then this I
Okay.
can pay, then I can pay original, as soon as possible I can pay.
So you
Because this-
received all the bills, sir?
Yes, yes.
Okay. I have no more question with Mr. Quadir.
Thank you.
Does the board have any additional questions for Mr. Quadir or the city?
I do not. I'm ready to go to the back if Nancy
Let's
is
go in
ready.
the back.
All right, if everybody just stay right there, Mr. Quadir, just stay right there. The board is gonna go into a virtual room and we'll be back, okay?
Thank you. There's no line.
Nancy, everyone is back.
Okay, fine, thank you. The board's reached a decision. It's our decision to abate the penalty and half of the interest. And this would all be contingent upon entering into a payment agreement and keeping it throughout. You'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. Both sides do have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of the date of that letter. But I'm going to assume for the moment that the decision that we're reaching is one that both parties will be content with. And so you'll get that letter from us, and at the end of that 30-day period, you should be entering into arrangements for the payments after that. The city will be giving you an indication of what the exact amount is that you owe that would be covered by the payment agreement. Any questions?
Ryan Boy, I concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur, and I just want to emphasize that this decision, Mr. Quadir, to abate all of the penalty and half the interest is contingent on your making the full payments for the balance as it remains. And should you fail to enter into an agreement or enter into an agreement and fail to maintain all the payments, the city will have the authority to reinstate all of the penalty and interest that we're abating today.
The concurrence from the other board members?
Everybody,
George Matheson concur.
And Nancy Cameradiner, I concur. So you'll get that letter from us within the next 2 weeks. I think that it's taking at this point, and then the 30-day period begins at that point. And
No.
as soon as you can, after that, you should be entering into discussions with the city about the payment plan.
Mr. Quadir, what will happen is you'll get a letter from our office, and then you'll get an adjusted bill from the Department of Revenue. You'll have 30 days from the adjusted bill date to enter into a payment agreement with the Department of Revenue. So
Thank you for,
waiting for two letters. Our letter will come first. It will say that you got this decision. And then the second letter will be a bill. And that's the bill you'll need to take to the Department of Revenue and create a payment agreement. Okay?
thank you for clarifying that. I have a tendency to skip over that second letter.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, now, so I got like 100% plenty wave, right?
Correct.
Okay, and 100%, okay, and interest is 50%.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. And I have to wait for letter. As soon as I receive letter, then I have to, set up payment plan.
Correct.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us
everybody.
today, and we look forward to hearing later that this has all gone well.
Thank you very much. Thank you. That
Okay.
I appreciate.
All right,
Thank you very
everybody,
much.
I'm just gonna run out and see if there's anybody else waiting for the
You're
other two.
welcome to leave us at this point.
Thank you, everybody.
Okay, thank you, and have a good rest of the day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Okay. Case number 2 is here. I'm just gonna.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna go unmute him and tell him to begin.
Okay, fine, thank you.
Would that be 6024 Market Street?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mhm. I was going to wait until he was on the
Oh, thank you
call
very
with us
much.
before.
All right, Nancy, case number 2, Desmond and Edwards is here.
Okay, fine. Thank you very much. This is, as has been indicated, case number 2, last 4 digits of the docket 6209, property address is 6024 Market Street. We have it on the agenda as being Desmond Edwards. Is that correct?
No,
Please identify yourself for the record.
Desmond O. Edwards.
Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth with everything that comes before the board? Okay, thank you. When it comes time for you to testify, if you could be as close to the microphone and speak as clearly as you can. If you're comfortable without the mic, without the mask, that might work better for you, but you don't have to do that if you're uncomfortable being without the mask. I'm going to identify excuse me. I'm going to ask the people from the city to identify themselves for the record, and then we'll get started with the actual testimony. Mr. Ping, you're on mute, you're muted. Okay.
Sorry,
now-
yeah, Ian Peng represents City of Philadelphia. And my witness is Ms. Renee Felders, already sworn in.
Okay, yes, that's great. Thank you. Ms. Felder, if you would give us the numbers for the record, please.
Principal amount is $2,500. Penalty is $1,423.83. The interest is $890, which brings this total balance to $4,813.83. The years included is 2016 through 2022.
Okay, thank you. Does the city have any opening comments before we turn to the petitioner?
Yeah, just briefly. First, the board granted the petitioner's request non-proton. The city objects non-proton considerations, asked the board to reject the petition as out of time, unless the petitioner can prove that he affirmatively can prove that he hasn't had any actual or constructive notice until 60 days before the petition date. And also the city would like to remind the board that it is petitioner's burden to prove to the board that his property qualifies any exceptions. And that's my opening.
Okay.
Can I jump in here? Are you objecting? I think that The numbers included 2021 and 2022. Or is your objection for those as well, since it was filed in 2021?
Not those, just the earlier ones.
So you're objecting to 2016 to 2020?
Yeah.
All right, thank you.
Does the board need to step aside to consider that, or do you have a point of view on whether or not we should continue?
I'd rather hear from the petitioner as to how he came about with his petition and whether he received bills and what the circumstances were.
I agree.
Okay. So we will continue at this point. Did the city have anything else to say before we would turn to the petitioner?
Nothing else to say.
Okay, fine, thank you. Okay, we'd like to hear from the petitioner. If you could tell us why you're here and what you're looking for from this board. And as my fellow board member has indicated, that we'd like to have some special emphasis on the time period in terms of your appeal as it related to when you entered the petition.
Okay. Now, as it is, the area is a moderately low-income disadvantaged community. I'm a barbershop that only disposes of hair, which is of no really heavy weight. Hair and maybe plastic containers. You know what I mean? And I'm only one sole proprietor that's in that big building, and I'm maintaining it through God's will. You know what I mean? And to take advantage of somebody, you know what I mean, this circumstance is not really addressing the whole situation. You know what I mean? Those buildings on my side, they're all residential. You know what I mean? And they put out trash out there almost every single day in the middle of the aisle. And then I guess the owner has someone comes out a couple times a week and pick up the trash. Now, since these buildings have been constructed, renovated, you know what I mean? The city has been proposing these undue justice taxes on me. You know what I mean? I've been charged for parking. Right now, I have $800 bill with parking. I'm constantly getting
Sir,
parking.
sir, it'd be helpful if you tell us, hold on, sir, this is board member Ryan Boyer. It'll be very helpful if you tell us when you got the notices and why you didn't respond to the notices. That's what we're trying to ascertain. We understand the nature of Market Street and the business corridor.
And please you are fairly close to the mic. I thought you were back from it. Okay.
Yes, and please, hold on, sir. Sir, hold on. If you would slow down your testimony so we can hear you, we're going to give you as much time as you need to speak, but if you could speak slowly and clearly so we can understand, and if you stick it to, I got the bill when this is why I didn't respond, rather than tell us the characteristics of the building so we can make a decision. Thank you, sir.
Well, when I have got the bill, right, I'm consumed with a lot of things, right? I'm a sole proprietor. I'm maintaining it by myself and doing everything by myself, okay? And now when I see this bill, I have a letter here from the city council member, Dale Clark, right? And I haven't even addressed it yet, how he wants to change the review board because it's unfair, it's unjust, and it's not listening to the community's grievances. You know what I mean? And if you want to have a copy of this, because I'm going to address this to him, you know what I mean? Because it's really unfair to an individual, especially based on the area. And I'm also a sole proprietor, and I'm only putting out hair. Okay, I just haven't had the time to even just. This is a year past due, and I'm just like I said, I'm smart with a whole lot of other things that I'm doing just to maintain. And then to come down here and spend time to come down here for something that's duty and justice to a person, you know what I mean? It's just really pissing me off. That's why I'm talking like this. You know what I mean? Because I understand how you people, you know what I mean, are just programmed here to the system and how things is.
Mr. Edwards, I am going to interrupt. We're not the people who passed the law. We're just here trying to help figure out if there's something we can do.
Only one person can talk at a time.
Right.
Let me finish talking there. Okay, you guys, you know what I mean, are working for the system, a program. Okay, and you guys have the leeway where you can make things, you know what I mean, justified and available to make this to make the communities better, which will make the world a better place to live in. Now, make that decision properly. That's all I'm saying.
Paula, do you still have a question?
I'm not sure.
Yeah. Make the decision properly, based on the situation of the world and my community, which I'm there to make things better for myself and other people that I'm able to employ. in my country.
Please slow down and be more distinct in what you're saying. I know I have lost about half of what you said because you were talking too rapidly for the
Okay.
mic to keep up with you.
Okay, my accent is coming out because I'm really pissed off, okay? So this is how I address things. When I'm angry, I'm a very nice person. But when something that's, you know what I mean, I'm being attacked, you know what I mean, and it's unfair. You see what I'm saying? You guys know it's unfair.
I can't
Did you ever
understand.
contact the city about the bills along the way and ask questions
I have
or
this here.
make any effort to make payment?
I have this here, right? I'm just swamped with a lot of things. You know what I mean? I'm addressing grants that's available. It's my business, right? I've applied for so many different funding. You know what I mean?
All right,
And
Mr. Edwards, let me ask you a few questions. This property is a commercial property, correct? You have a barber shop, from what I'm hearing?
yes, it was zoned. You have the information right here. You know what I
Pardon
mean?
me?
You guys figured out the information from the right, which I already had it anyway. You know what I mean? And I know this house is owned, but I don't know how this guy that tore down all these buildings, they were historically buildings. You know what I mean? And I don't know how
I'm
this-
sorry, I'm having a lot of trouble, Melissa. I
Hold
can't
on one
understand
second.
Testimony.
Yeah, there's not going to be a clear record if he just has to slow down and speak clearer.
Okay, listen to me. All right.
Before you finish, can you
Let me
finish?
just answer yes or no. You've been, were you in this property in 2016?
I did address it to.
You have to wait for her to finish and then answer. Two people can't talk at once.
Well,
That's what I'm
explain it to them too.
Yes, but you're cutting them off too. And I'm gonna tell the same thing to them, but you're cutting them off. So can you just slow down and just wait for her to finish answering, okay? All right.
Paula, please go ahead.
Mr. Edwards, did you own this property in 2016?
Pardon me?
Did you own this property in 2016?
I've owned this since 1997
Okay, and did you have a barber shop in 2016
and prior.
and prior? Do you also live in this property?
Yes, ma'am.
You live above the store? Is that what it looks like?
Yes.
Okay. Did you get the bills for the refuse collection fee all along the way? 2016, 17, 18, 19, 20.
I recall that in 2016, and it was what you call it again? It was expunged. In other words, it was done away with. Okay, for a certain amount of years, it was done away with. Then I started getting bills some other time. I don't recall the years exactly. You guys should have all that information. You know?
Did he get a homeowner's exemption, city?
Oh,
It
yeah.
seem- I mean, a home, I'm talking to the city. Did he get a occupant exemption in 2016, city?
No,
Has he ever gotten an exemption for residing in half of the property?
no.
The OPA?
No, not from OPA, from the city for the refuse collection.
If you look back, you can see that there was some it was done with, because I came here last year for the same matter.
And what happened last year?
There was a certain amount, the prior years was, excluded, and they said I just had to pay, I think, like $800, but I didn't even have a chance to address that yet.
So at the master level hearing, which occurred back in April of 2022, the master abated 100% of the interest, 100% of the penalty, and reduced the principal to $900. That was the master decision. However, I do not know, then the petitioner appealed the master determination.
That's eradicated. Maybe we want to hear from the city.
Yeah. Just a few questions for Mr. Edwards. So you said you live, you operating your barbershop business in the first floor and you live in the second floor.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yes,
So what about third floor?
that's where I really live.
So you live in second and third floor?
Okay, let me be frank with you. If you guys were to come down to my place, right, and just see how everything is, right, I'm barely making it. okay? I stay on the first floor because the second and third floor is not fixed up properly, okay? So I'm maintaining my habitat on the first floor, which I, situate certain things a certain way where I can rest my head, okay? You know what I mean? And I've applied for different things to get some help. You know what I mean? I'm still waiting for this one company to send some contractors out to fix up, the second and third floor. I applied to this other agency, which is I've been approved for $10,000 to fix up the facade, and I just sent out another grant last night to match that $10,000 to fix up my facade. Now there's a grant from the in-store called in-store grant, which I have to apply for. Now I'm going through this other program, it's for 12 weeks through Lancaster Avenue Association or whatever like that. And where I have to spend like every Monday for like 3 hours on the phone, and they, talking this and that about business and this and that, and they're going to help me with my business plan so I can apply through the Commerce Department for this other grant. So I'm doing a whole bunch of things, okay? And now I didn't have the chance to really address the situation with a City Council member president, Dow Clark, about the zoning commission and how they disadvantages the community. You know what I mean? And I've had this letter for a whole year, because I'm just constantly maintaining. Okay.
How we doing?
Yeah. Go ahead, Brian. I'm sorry, Ryan. Go ahead.
So I just want to make sure. So you are doing business in the first floor
Yes.
throughout the years, yeah? Okay.
Yes.
So so you also said you've been receiving the refuse bills without problem. Is that correct?
Man, you guys, yes, I have received a bill.
So did you read the bills?
Yeah.
So did you saw that exemption forms are attached with the bills?
I did send one off before. Okay. Now, if there's an exemption that I could apply for now, give it to me. I didn't get one with the last bill.
So you didn't apply for any exemptions?
Man, I don't even know if I could have applied for it. Basically, like I said, I'm doing a whole bunch of things. Now, when these things different things constantly come at me, I have to address what I feel is the most important thing so I can survive. Okay? And right now, I just explain to you how I'm actually living. Okay? And I'm just, surviving. Okay? And I'm going to maintain. All right? The power that God put in me, will give me no choice but not to quit, not to give up. Okay? Now,
Okay, that's enough.
Mr. Edwards, all Mr. Payne asked you is if you knew that there were exemptions for this tax included in the bill that you received every 6 months. It's no question, sir. We're really trying to help you. And every time you get upset, we get a little bit further from where we want to end up. So can you just answer the question so we can move through it to get the information that we need to help you? We are really trying to help.
Okay.
Mr. Peng, just jumping ahead, is there, or can you explain, is there an exemption provided in the ordinance for properties that are partially commercial, partially residential?
Yes.
Ms. Felder, thank you. Could you explain how that works? And can we move on?
He would need to come in. It appears after doing further research, he has an UPA agreement that's currently active. In order to have this particular agreement, you must reside in the property. Right. So he would just bring a utility bill and fill out an exemption form yearly, and he would only be billed 50%.
Okay, so. Okay.
Has he ever done that?
No.
According to the city's records?
No.
Mr. Edmonds, do you understand what she's saying? That because you live in half of the property, that there is an exemption for half of this bill that is due every year. Do you understand that?
Right.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get us, Mr. Edmonds.
Has anyone ever told you about that before? Did you know that that was a possibility for you?
No.
Okay.
Okay. Now I take 50%, but I want all exempt. It needs to be all exempted. Okay. Based on my income.
Mr. Edwards, we're one step at a time. You do have a business in the building, and that does make a difference. We understand that, that it may not be a business that is highly profitable for you or may be difficult to hang on to, but you do have a business in the building as well as using it for your residents. So those are considerations that we need to be mindful of. And what Ms. Felder has explained is there is an exemption for the residential portion. that you would need to apply for every year. The city is not going to automatically be able to assume you still live in the property. You need to be able to say through the exemption form every year, I live here. And then the city will be able to reduce the bill
Okay,
for this particular fee, refuse collection fee. And I believe it does come, or at least the instructions come with the bill. Am I correct, Ms. Felder? Yeah. The
You are muted,
instructions
Felder.
for that exemption come with the billing. Although I'm sure that we can make arrangements for someone to send that out.
I could, if I could get it before I leave, that'd be great.
I don't know that we have it in our office.
Ms. Felder, can you maybe send me the exemption forms? I can print them out for him here if you have access to them.
I don't have access to them.
Okay. I have to go down to the municipal services building.
Which he could
Hey,
do.
you're on mute again.
You're on mute, Ms. Felder. Can he do
Felder.
that today?
He can, I print them out online.
Oh, he can print them out online. Okay.
If he has capability to do that.
I'll print them out while we're here.
Oh, you can print them out online, sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know if there's any more information that we need right now.
Was there anything else that the city wanted to ask the petitioner?
Yeah, can I do my direct with my city with Miss Felder to just get some facts on the record to make the
Please
record
go
clear?
ahead.
Miss Felder, have you had a chance to review the petitioner's account?
Yes,
Who owns the property?
Desmond Edwards.
So what kind of property is the property located at
Commer-
6024 Market Street?
Commercial, residential, mixed use.
Okay, so are such property subject to refuse fee
Yes,
collection? Yeah. Is there a refuse account for this property?
yes,
Was the refuse account ever closed?
no,
Has petitioners request any exemptions?
no,
Has petitioner made any payment to the refuse fee bills?
state that again.
Has petitioner ever made any payment for his refuse fee bills?
No,
Um,
but let me clear one thing up. It was one exemption, it was denied because they said it was an active business.
so he never paid any of his refuse fee bills.
No,
That's the end of my direct. Thank you.
City, you
any
said
board
one
members have
exemption
additional
was
questions?
denied. So can you explain that was? What was that exemption?
I'm assuming because he was stating that it was residential, which is a mixed use, and he reside in a property. So I guess he was trying to get an exemption based off that he lived there, but they stated it was denied due to the fact that it is a business, a commercial building that has a business.
Thank you.
Any of the board members have questions?
I'm ready to go back.
Okay,
Does the
everyone
petitioner-
ready to step back?
Yes,
The question. Right, other businesses that's in the same situation as myself, commercial storefront and apartment up top, are they being charged also?
Every commercial property in the city receives a refuse bill.
Okay. All right.
All right. Everyone can hold tight. Nancy, everyone is back.
Thank you. The board's reached a decision. It's our decision to abate 100% of the penalty, 100% of the interest, and half of the principal. And we want to remind you that you should be applying every year for the exemption for your residential portion of the property. You'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. Both sides do have the right to appeal to the Court of Common Pleas within 30 days of the date of our letter. But I'm going to assume for the moment that neither side is going to choose to appeal. And if that proves to be the case, then we would encourage you to make a decision as quickly as you can about this and to work with the city in order to be sure that you take advantage of all of the things that we have identified in our decision. If you don't follow through, those things will come back on the record. And so it's important for you to do that. Are there any additional comments from any of the board members?
I just wanted to say that payment arrangements should be arranged within 30 days of the adjusted bill.
I should have gotten to that right afterwards, but I wanted to get any board concurrence
Corey,
on
I
the date.
concur.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
Okay, and Nancy Cameradiner, I concur. So basically, you'll get a letter from us that spells out our decision. You do have the right to appeal, but we would encourage you to work with the city and get payment arrangements in place as early as you can and keep those arrangements. Thank you very much for coming in today.
May I have a statement, please? No, go ahead. You just remember this one thing. Everything we do affects the next person one way or the other. God be blessed.
We thank you for coming in, and you'll get a letter from us within about 2 weeks and have the 30-day period for review and potential appeal to the Court of Common Pleas. Assuming that you don't do that, we would expect you to start to work with the city to enter into payment arrangements for the balances that are due and owing. Thank you for coming in.
You're welcome. Hello.
Okay.
Okay,
We have anything from number one?
no, number one has not appeared. It is approximately 2:51. There is nobody in our virtual waiting room or here in the waiting room here at 100 South Broad Street.
Does anyone, does the city have any information concerning item number one? Let me just identify it for the record. It's docket ending in 6672 for 205 Sumac Street. The petitioner's name is Peter Quinn. Does the city have any information concerning this matter?
The city has been trying to contact with Mr. Quinn to no avail. Specifically, I tried to call him. His phone is not picking up. It says mailbox is full. I tried to call the other owner showed up, and the base's water account, which is Lane Quinn. She picked up the phone before I can finish anything. She is hanging up. City tried to contact the petitioner, but
Okay.
cannot be contacted.
Okay, so not only did they not appear, but they're not responding to any efforts to engage them prior to the hearing.
Correct.
Okay, has there been other decisions that would affect this matter from either the master's hearing or prior to that we should be aware of before we make our decision on this?
Yeah.
Let me.
Oh, it's okay, Mr. Pring. I'll read from the board's records. So there was a hearing back in with the master in 2020, but there's been two denied did not appear since then, including the last one before the master. It was denied did not appear.
Okay. Does the city have any recommendations that we should consider before we make our decision?
The city will recommend the board reject the petition.
Okay, thank you.
I recommend that we deny for failure to appear with no further hearings.
Paula Weiss, I concur.
George Matthews, I concur.
And I could agree with that as well. So we're denying it for not appearing and no reinstatement of the case before the board. Is that essentially it?
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay. This being the last item on our agenda, unless there's something else I'm unaware of, I'll pause for anyone to raise anything. This hearing is adjourned. Thank you very much for joining us today.
See
Bye,
you guys
everybody.
Thursday.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Thank you, bye.
Have a good one. Thank you.
I'll see you guys after the tax season.
Yes, bye, Joyce. Your last one.
All right, thank you.